Just setting the live stream up. It won't be long. Okay, so we're going to take the SEPECAT Jaguar for a flight from RAF Scampton in the north of England. We're going to be looking at a bit of radio navigation along the way, but mostly just practicing doing some circuits and doing some landings, touch and goes at various different airfields, just to get the hang of flying the airplane properly, really. So we had a quick look at it yesterday. I'm going to go into a bit more depth today. Okay. So, without further ado, just make sure the microphone is okay. So let's turn the... Yeah, it's super windy today. I'm just going to switch my sound over to come out of my own speakers. Yeah, it is properly windy. And we haven't started the airplane yet. That's just the sound of the wind. Which sounds a bit odd. Let's go and have a look and see how much fuel it's got on board. We could put tanks on it, couldn't we? But then that's going to make it heavy for touch and goes. So we'll leave it on that screen though, because we can use this to set how much fuel we've got left. Okay, we're just going to go with the volumes that we've got. So Jean-Pierre Dupries is saying, have you ever considered doing flights in South Africa? I've done some group flights down there, but I haven't been down there for a while. The only reason I'm here is because the, or in the simulator because I'm at Scampton, is because the Jaguar, or this Jaguar, wouldn't have been unusual for it to have operated from bases like Scampton. So this is going to be a good situation. This is from IM Scenery, by the way, this version of Scampton. Okay, I'm going to work through the checklist that I've pre-prepared, which will hopefully take us through getting the aeroplane ready for flight. So we've got rid of the covers and everything outside, or at least we think we have, yep. Ladder's gone, covers gone, chocks have gone. So, Shift and 2 takes us over to here, and we go and put the battery switch on. Then we can cancel the alarm. We can go and remove the pins. Then anti-collision lights can go to forward. And prepare for engine start. So before we go and put the APU on, we need to go and put the hydraulic pumps to auto, just to make sure they're already open. I'm just going to make sure that the spoilers are open, because the vent for the APU is in the spoiler. Okay, so then we can turn that off once we've got the spoilers opened. Then we come down here and we go and put the pumps on. We can lock that in place, put the APU to on and start the APU. And put the bleed air start on. And then we're going to go engine 2 to start. And then when we look up in the cockpit, you'll see the RPM coming round. When it gets to 50%, we'll go and turn the alternator and the rectifier on for engine number 2. You can reset them. If you flick them all the way forwards, it will reset them and then they'll fall back again. Okay, I'll just pop the yoke off while we do this so we can see what we're doing. Engine number 1. You can see the RPM coming up. Shouldn't take too long. You can see power coming on. I've actually put the GPS in today. I don't know if we'll actually use it, but it's nice to have it there. So alternator and rectifier can come on. So once the engines are up and running, we can go and turn the air bleed off and the APU off. So we can close the canopy. So we look up above and grab the handle and pull it down. Then we lock it in place. We're going to go and put the pressurization on, so we're going to drag this switch. We're going to have to lower down a bit to see it. Or lever, I should say, all the way forwards. Hydraulic pumps to auto. So I think we already did that, didn't we? It's auto and caged. Oh no, sorry, no, here it is. That's the hydraulic pump. That's not the hydraulic pump. So, time to go look at the radios. So, ILS, go and switch it to on. TACAN, turn to receive. IFF, which is back here, turn to standby for the moment. And we can retract the spoilers now the APU is off. We can put the take the parking brake off if we want. We can put the taxi lights to taxi. And let's go and get the GPS ready. It's purely a visual guide on the GPS. The aircraft has no way of tracking the GPS track, so there's no nav mode on the autopilot. There is an autopilot control panel down here. So this is the test button, that's altitude hold. When you turn it on, it just holds pitch at the and does wing leveling at the point you switch it on. So you basically get the airplane going the way you want, and then turn the autopilot on. It's very, very simple. Because the real aircraft didn't have it, I don't think. Or if it did, it was maybe even more simple than this one. What else can we do before we even start taxiing? So we can go and put the head-up display to flight mode. You can see it's just lit up there. We can go and calibrate the altimeter. We won't do the pitot heat just yet. Okay, so let's go and taxi out. GPS has just come on. So you can see we've got a warning light down there on the bottom of the panel. That's just that we haven't got the pitot heat on yet. Going to go and put the flaps to take off, which is 20 degrees. There we've got some AI cars stuck in a cul-de-sac there. X-ray 741. Is there a call sign? Should we put say intentions on? So just put the parking brake on for a moment. Add-ons, say intentions. We'll have to go and put our identity in, won't we, to turn this into a Jaguar. Oh, there's an update to say intentions. Should we do it? Give it a few moments. There we go. Close the old version in anticipation of it doing it. It's quite good. It does a full reinstall with their installer, so it, you know, cleanly removes it. We have the latest version, identity. We are going to be today. Interesting. Let's try that again. I think I went a bit too quickly there. So we are a Jaguar. So what is the ICAO code for a Jaguar? Does anybody know? Let's go and find out. What is the ICAO code for the SEPECAT Jaguar? Jagger. Okay, that solves that one for us. Identity. JAGR. And we are call sign Jaguar. X-ray, what did we say it was? 714. Jaguar X-ray 714. Okay. So we're on RAF Scampton. We're going to go straight to tower because we're on the runway already. So we skipped the taxi control. What runway are we on before we go and say anything to ATC and embarrass ourselves? 04. Scampton Tower, Jaguar 7... I've forgotten the number already. I'm doing well today, aren't I? 741. Scampton Tower, Jaguar 741 on runway 04, requesting immediate departure.
Jaguar 714, contact Scampton Tower for departure clearance.
741. Did I say 714 to them? Correction, that's correct. That's Jaguar 741.
Jaguar 714, roger, contact Scampton Tower for departure clearance.
I thought I was... Oh, that's centre I'm on. Interesting, so that's not giving me the tower frequency. It's probably ramp, isn't it? Let's ask it and find out. Centre, what is the frequency for Scampton Tower?
Jaguar 714, contact Scampton Tower on 125.0, MH hub for departure clearance.
Yeah, it's not listed. I wonder if it's listed in the comm frequencies in LittleNavMap for Scampton. No, because it's a military airfield, it doesn't know about it. Scampton Tower, Jaguar 741, holding short runway 04 for immediate departure. Or we're aligned actually, we're not holding short, but there we go.
Jaguar X-ray 714, top cliff approach. You are not cleared for departure. Please contact the tower for departure clearance.
Yeah, it doesn't understand the frequencies for military airfields. I'm going to shut it off. There's no point. What's the volume like? It's okay. Whoa, that crosswind was vicious. I knew it was quite strong before we took off, but look at it moving around. So we'll turn around to 220 degrees. Let's have a look and see what the landing lights look like. Are there any on the wings, or is it purely on the undercarriage? I think it's on the undercarriage, isn't it? Look at that. That's awesome, isn't it? Of course it's doing that because we've let the speed bleed off. So we've got a high alpha angle. You can see it here, look. It's very clever how it's such a simple thing there where there's a colour filter in front of the marker that makes it change colour, so you notice it if you're at a high angle of alpha. Okay, back to 1,000 feet. See where we are on the map. I'm going to turn back in a moment and approach 04. Obviously we've got a crosswind going on, so it's going to be fun and games. And we'll go over to one of the other airfields that has ILS in a moment to have a go and have a play with the ILS. Remember, we've got that vicious crosswind to deal with, so we'll try the old technique of crabbing and then straightening ourselves up as we're about to fall onto the runway. Or we could try side slipping it, I suppose. I'm not sure if jets like doing this. Probably not. Yeah, it's too stubby to do it, especially in these conditions. Far too high. We're only doing a touch and go there, remember. Whoa. Very nearly lost that. The wind got under the wing. Look at that. It's madness. Okay, let's go have a play with low level on the way back down the country. So what direction do we actually need to go? So if we were going to come down towards Coningsby, I guess. Just keep an eye on it. I'm having to hand fly it at the moment. So 48X for Coningsby on the Tecan. Why has the Tecan not woken up? Oh, we didn't turn on the pitot heat, yeah, or the backup. I missed several items on the checklist. They're on the list. So we raced up to 400 knots. Just out of interest, what is the range of the Coningsby Tecan? Oh, hang on, let me trim the ailerons. Got a bit of a roll going on there. Still doing it though. I think that's the wind kicking the tail over. 48X. $120 miles, it should be. We should be picking it up. How strange. Is there a VOR at Coningsby as well? Oh no, yeah, that is Tecan, yes. That's really, really odd. I think I've seen strangeness with Coningsby before, by the way, in the simulator, so it might be me. Let's have a look. Are there any other Tecans nearby? Yeah, there's one at Cranwell, 121X. Let's try it. So it's on VOR Tecan mode, so it should handle it. The big arrow here should turn towards the airfield. How odd. Let's go and try a VOR station out to see if they're working. Of course, there's none in this part of the country. There's one up here, the Otteringham one, 11390. That's working. So it's telling us the direction to it. So just to show you how that works. Why is the the undercarriage is coming down because we're going too slow. The undercarriage is flashing because we're under 200 knots with no flaps. So the way this works, you've actually got a course knob here, look, or route knob as it calls it. I'm just going to turn off the head tracking for a moment and dip ourselves into the cockpit a little bit. So if you notice, we're showing about 10 degrees to get to it. Look at that. That's the CDI for the course that I'm asking for. So if I wanted to fly 10 degrees to it, I'm pretty much there, look. But notice only TACAN has distance measuring. So what did we have tuned in on the TACAN? 121. I wonder if it's not on X. You can only do that through here though. And I've forgotten where it is. TACAN X. Yeah, it's in X mode. How strange. So let's put it back to 48X and see if we can pick up Coningsby. Now we're a bit closer. It's on receive mode. I wonder if it makes any difference putting it on transmit and receive. No, the arrow is still not moving. That is really weird. Let's try the other mode. So that's off. So AU and NAV, or NA, are the same as VOR and TACAN. It looks like it's not reading TACAN radios for whatever reason. Okay, let's go back in towards Coningsby then. So we're just going to do an overhead join. So what directions were the runways at Coningsby? And we've got ILS here. Yeah, so if we go overhead and then go left, 11115 and 253 degrees. So this is where it's a real problem, look. You have to do this to get to it. Just flying the plane on the horizon here so we don't smash into the ground. We're going a bit slow again. So there's 253, we want 11115, don't we? There's the airfield, so we'll fly over and then turn the reciprocal. I have a funny feeling I've just, while we were moving the mouse around down here, so it's on, that should be on receive. This aeroplane moves around so much. If you're trying to look in the cockpit to do something, it's a real so-and-so. That's bizarre. So 70 degrees. And now the nav radios aren't working either. Or at least the ILS isn't working. Maybe it's just conning speed that's being a problem. Because that's set to ILS look there. To be honest, I have seen this before with conning speed. So we'll end up going visual if we have to. So doing an about turn. There's crabbing. Sinks quite a lot, doesn't it, once you get slow. Just bringing the power back in a little bit to get us back towards 150 knots. Seems to be about happiest at 150. Doesn't sink. So we're coming low along the runway at Coningsby. Is this airfield over here, by the way? Okay, it's not. I thought it was an airfield for a moment. IG turns. Back out towards the sea. Right. Let's get our bearings. So Coningsby is over there. So it's rolling in. Full reheat. We have to be careful on the speed. You can overspeed the Jaguar. So we're coming up to Mach 0.95. The speed building 300. This is gliding. 400. 500 knots in a glide. So how quickly does it lose speed? Look at the speed falling off. With no thrust, it's not very aerodynamic at all. It's a bit of a brick. It bouncing around on the wheels. The crosswind pushed us sideways that much. So people were asking the other day about the payloads, and yes, you can absolutely load the airplane up to its gunnels basically, so we could, like, we're using a lot of fuel here because we're playing around. So if you press this, it will change the totalizer to show the correct amount. So if we wanted to, we could come in here and say, give ourselves the drop tanks, all three of them. We could come in here and we could fill. Notice that's affected the aeroplane's balance, look. So we could fill the airplane completely up and it would be a total and utter handful. So here's the tanks. So I've just completely filled the airplane. So if I then hit the totalizer, we've now got nearly 6,000 kilograms. Oh no, I think it's done in how are we doing? So this is in gallons. Okay, so we've got some mental arithmetic to do. I'm not sure what that's showing. It's probably kilograms actually. If we look outside, we've now got a very, very fat Jaguar. So landing will become a nightmare now. But we can change the loadout for bombs as well. You can see that's changing the balance as we do it. Let's go and see how that affects it on an approach. So whereabouts are we? Okay, so if we double back to the left. I'm going to go somewhere else as well though. I want to try out the ILS somewhere that works. I'm not sure why it's not working here. But we'll do one... I don't think you can drop the bombs. It's not built into Flight Simulator to do bombs, really. You can simulate it, I guess, by... Oh, look at the angle of attack there. Had a fit on us. There's the runway. Let's bring it in with a heavy load and see how it behaves. So we've got full fuel tanks as well as all the bombs, remember. So waiting for the speed to bleed off. There's the runway out in front of us. Okay, so flaps down to the first position. And gear down. Just gonna watch it happen. Full flaps. Trying to stop the airplane sinking so dramatically. Let's have a look at it with it fully configured then. Sinking far too low. Giving it some power and just lifting the nose gently, but not too much. So we're only doing a touch and go, remember. Okay, let's go somewhere else. Let's go down to Mildenhall or somewhere then. And see if the VORs and stuff are working. It's really odd. They were working earlier. It's been very strange. So TACAN down here. So 106X for Mildenhall. So I'll just turn the head tracking off for a moment. Straighten the aeroplane up. Still isn't waking up. That should be coming up with distance measuring. Very odd. I wonder if it's because this is in the cockpit. We're in VLOC mode. No, it's still not showing us anything. What's the range on this? 150 miles. It should be picking it up easily. Maybe it's one of those strange flight simulator things that it'll work in the next flight absolutely perfectly, but today it's not. So you will notice this is not accurate anymore, because this can be adjusted. This is purely a reference for the pilots. Obviously you've got your internal fuel here, but because there's no easy way of reading it down, what this is really doing is taking the numbers off based on the fuel flow. So that's why there's a quick calculator in here to allow you to total up what you've actually got. So we've got 2800. Yeah, so this is measuring the fuel flow and just counting down, and you can use the roller to adjust it. So it's remarkably mechanical then, let's put it that way. Should we try the ILS into Mildenhall? That's almost into the wind, runway 28, 11015. Descend. It's the wash behind us. So a big arcing turn around the airfield. So what direction do we want to end up on? Uh, 100 degrees, or thereabouts, but not yet. Down towards 5,000 feet. wind is really chucking us around. So we're coming in over the top of the airfield, then we'll just do a teardrop and drop back into the ILS. So if we go and look from outside, we should see it coming. Yeah, here it is, look. Of course, we could come in low along the runway for fun, since we don't have to obey aviation law in a simulator, or even instructions from any towers. So doing Mach 0.8. Turbulence is wicked, isn't it? Okay, we need to set the course for the ILS, so it'll be 282 degrees. If it's going to work. If it isn't, I'm not sure if it's something I've done or if it's something the airplane's doing to me. No, it looks like it's working. The flight director needle's moving around. And obviously we're flying directly away from it at the moment. So let's do a teardrop. See the airfield again. My vision's getting worse. Or the weather's just obscuring it in the sun down there. There it is. Yeah, the ILS isn't working. Look, the bars should be moving around. I've done something to the plane, or something's odd is going on with it. I had it working earlier. That was a bit hairy, wasn't it? Yeah, so obviously something odd's going on with the radios in this particular flight. Usually they work. That's really annoying that they weren't working. Go and park next to the C-17. I'm not sure there's a parking space over here actually. Oh, we'll go over next to the Ospreys over there. Okay, that was good fun. So, just trying to remember what we do to get the engines shut down. I guess the fuel pumps is the easiest way, isn't it? So what did I miss down here? Oh, shush. Because it was on received mode, that was on M, which is on, and it still wasn't picking up radio signals. That's really odd. Yeah, I have to have a deep dive into that. when I'm offline. This was on ILS mode and VOR and TACAN. The modes along the bottom of here, that's VOR TACAN, then off, then AU, I can't remember what that stands for, it's auto something, but it's not really implemented in the sim. NA isn't implemented either, it just does VT mode for both of those. And I can't remember what TD does. I did read about them. But it's doing something, look. Just not what it should. Maybe it needs an update, I don't know. Maybe I did something wrong. So turn the alternators and rectifiers off. The air conditioning has already come off. Okay, so unlock the canopy and then open it up. Obviously we can go in the tablet and then go and get the covers and the wheel chocks and the ladder. So what's the sun cover? So it's for a foil cover then for the cockpit. Very good. So hopefully you enjoyed that. It's a shame the radios didn't work, but we'll come back to that another day and have another look at it. I'm not sure if I prefer this or the Tornado. I think I prefer the Tornado, but that's just personal preference of the planes I grew up watching. I seem to remember having a model kit, or my brother had a model kit of the Jaguar when he was young. But we also had several model kits of Tornadoes over the years as well. Yeah, it's good though, isn't it? Obviously you can cheat with the various modes here. Very good. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you enjoyed that, and we'll be back again soon. So that was some horrible crosswind landings, because we were using live weather, and it's a windy old afternoon in the UK. So yeah, some horrible crosswind landings with turbulence and heavy loads, just to see how it behaved. And it was quite hairy at times, but was possible. Okay, see you soon.